There's this really powerful human drive we all have, right? This need for connection, for finding someone. It's just fundamental.
Absolutely. It's core to who we are.
But what happens when that very desire, that longing to share your life, gets twisted, weaponized even?
Yeah, it's a dark side of that connection.
We're doing a deep dive today into something pretty disturbing. A growing wave of matrimonial cyber fraud, particularly hitting places like Visakhapatnam in India.
Mm-hmm.
Our sources show this pattern where, quite sophisticated scammers are posing as successful non-resident Indians.
NRIs.
Right, the NRI angle is key. And they're luring women into these complex schemes that involves promises of expensive gifts and then these really convincing customs calls.
And it's really more than just general vulnerability. The way they specifically use that NRI persona, it taps into certain aspirations, maybe for a better life, stability. And there's often this kind of cultural trust sometimes placed in people living abroad. Plus, the distance itself makes checking things out, verifying details, much harder.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's unpack this pattern a bit. You mentioned it starts on matrimonial websites.
Almost always. That's the hunting ground.
And they play a long game, right? Building trust over weeks, maybe months.
Exactly. Meticulously. Lots of conversation, sharing details, getting personal.
But are there, subtle red flags even early on?
Yeah.
Before money even comes up, things in how they talk?
Oh, definitely. Beyond just being charming, they often create this sense of urgency about their life, like, I'm super busy, but you're special, I'm making time for you.
Right.
They mirror your interests, share things that seem quite intimate, maybe too quickly, paint this perfect future. It's about escalating that affection fast, making you feel unique, maybe even isolating you a bit. A big one is if they get really demanding of your time or, importantly, try to move the conversation off the official platform very quickly, onto WhatsApp or something similar where there's less overthink.
Right, less traceability. So they established that emotional hook. We saw this case, a 40-year-old woman from Gajuwaka.
Mm-hmm. I read about that one. Tragic.
Met a guy online, claimed to be a businessman overseas. Weeks of talk about marriage, a future, and then the big gesture. He'd apparently sent her these expensive gifts. Gold, electronics.
Which, of course, never existed.
Exactly. They never arrived.
And that gift-sending part, that's the pivot. That's where the actual scam mechanics kick in.
How so?
Well, once the gifts are supposedly on their way, boom, the victim gets a call, someone pretending to be from customs or maybe some other central authority.
The customs call.
Precisely. And these fake officials, they demand fees. Money to release the non-existent package. That Gajuwaka woman, they pressured her for over 2.5 lakh rupees.
Wow, that's a huge amount of money there.
It is. For context, that could be several years' salary for an average professional in that region. And there was another case. A widow in the same city lost 5 lakh rupees, believing she was paying to release gifts from her supposed fiancé.
5 lakh, that's just devastating. Likely her life savings gone.
Entirely possible.
And the sources really highlight the terrible impact. It's not just savings being drained.
Yeah.
Women were taking out loans, borrowing from friends, desperate to pay these fake fees.
Yeah, the desperation is palpable.
In Visakhapatnam, just the reported cases, over 10 women lost more than 20 lakh rupees collectively.
And that's likely just the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. The police think the real number is much higher. People are often too embarrassed, This social stigma of being tricked like this, especially around marriage prospects, it keeps people silent.
Which, tragically, just helps the scammers continue. Silence protects them.
So this brings us to the advice from authorities. What's the crucial takeaway?
Okay, number 1, verify identities. Easier said than done with distance, but try. Use reverse image search. Ask specific questions they might struggle with if they're lying.
Right, be skeptical.
Be very skeptical.
Right.
And never, ever transfer money to someone you only know online, especially if they suddenly need it urgently. But the absolute critical red flag, the thing everyone needs to burn into their memory, is this.
Okay.
Legitimate customs authorities in India or pretty much anywhere do not call you personally on your phone demanding payment to release a package. It just doesn't happen that way.
They don't call your mobile asking for bank transfers or gift cards?
Exactly. If you get that call, it is a scam. Full stop. End the call.
That seems so clear-cut when we say it now.
Yeah.
But I imagine in the moment, with emotions high, the promise of gifts, it must be hard to think straight.
Incredibly hard. That's the design. They build up the dream, create this emotional investment, then hate you with an urgent problem that only your money can solve. They use official-sounding language, maybe even fake documents sometimes. You want to believe it's real.
Right, the emotional investment overrides the logic.
Precisely. It short-circuits critical thinking.
So for you listening, what's the bottom line here? Vigilance is just paramount, especially online, especially when money gets involved in these relationship contexts. Promises of big gifts followed quickly by demands for fees. That's a classic pattern. Treat it as a massive red flag.
It really is striking, isn't it, how fast trust can be manufactured online and then just shattered, exploited so cruelly.
Yeah.
Maybe this deep dive prompts you to just think a bit more critically about all your online interactions, particularly when emotions get tangled up with requests. Always, always take that extra step. Verify things independently. That skepticism, that pause, it really could be your best defense.